Kathy with the K, Kathy, Ellis, Ellis.
Okay, and tell me which party you are with and what district you are running for.
I am running as a Democrat in the Missouri 8th Congressional District.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to mute myself whenever you are talking. So if you see that I'm muted, just don't worry about it. I'm listening, I'm still here. Okay, so tell me, what issue is most important to you as we head into November?
I think the most important issue to me is healthcare. The reason being, this is the second time that I'm running for the Missouri 8th. And one of the issues that has continued to be a challenge in my district is the absence of good quality health care. We've recently lost 5 hospitals and a few health centers. And so what we're finding is that people have to travel maybe even a couple of hours before they can get any kind of healthcare service. So that's one of the challenging issues. That's something that everyone has really told me that this is what they're the most concerned about right now.
So what are we doing wrong right now, if anything, and what will you do differently if you win?
Well, I think that we have an extraordinary lack of leadership in this state and certainly in this district. And I am very familiar with the needs of individuals. I have been a clinical social worker and a trauma and addictions counselor for many years. And people need to be heard. And I think the thing that we've been doing wrong is that we don't listen. So my challenge is to be a listener and to begin to really take the pulse of what the people that are in my district, and to listen to them as much as I need to begin to work with them to begin to solve the problems that are present in the district. And ultimately, that's when we see people can empower themselves. So I'm very, very strong about how we can really make some substantial change. This is a district that is currently the 11th poorest district in the country, and it has been that for many years. So really nothing has changed. It is a district that in the southeastern part has 1/3 food insecurity for children in the 16 counties surrounding the Boot Heel. So there are huge issues. We have a huge maternal infant mortality rate in that area as well. And no one seems to be very concerned about looking for some solutions to that. But I believe that it's time that we take action on that in particular.
So you kind of have answered this next question already, but I'll ask it again anyways. What is important? What do you believe is important to the district?
Well, I believe that there are a few things. I think, first of all, healthcare seems to always be the top priority. Whenever we do town halls or forums, whether they're in person or whether they're online, the first thing that people are the most concerned about is healthcare. I would say that's closely followed by the loss of having Social Security and Medicare as an option. It is also education. We have many schools that have gone down to 4 days because they can't afford to stay open the 5th day. And it's important that the educational system is fully funded, and that every child in this state, regardless of what their zip code, has a chance to have an equal kind of an education. So I'm a very strong proponent of that, and that seems to be the number 2 issue that most people are worried about. I think the third thing is the infrastructure, or the lack thereof. We are a district that is really in some dangerous straits right now. There are a lot of things that are happening that are really impacting the quality of life for people in the district. And that's one of the things that I'm really dedicated to, is to really, to listen to people, to understand, what do you need? It's not what I need. I want to be a public servant. I don't want to be a politician. I want to be somebody that gets some jobs done that have been lingering there for a very long time. And I trust the people of the Missouri 8th to tell me that information so that we can go forward.
Of these the issues I'm about to list, what do you believe is top of mind for voters right now? Economy, racism, or COVID-19, which is the biggest concern, and how would you address it?
I think it's COVID-19. I think that we are only beginning to see some of the devastation that is occurring. You know, we were kind of lulled into this place when everybody was staying at home in the very beginning, that, you know, we could just wait this out and it would be okay. But we're seeing it really spread. We're seeing that, you know, in Missouri, we are a little bit slow to get a lot of the virus spread throughout the district, but in rural areas, it's very, very prevalent. We need people that are going to take charge and say, this is what we need to do to stop this epidemic, and this is what we need to do to take care of the citizens in our districts and in our state. So I think that we have a lot of work to do. I know there's always conflict when we're talking about things like this, but it is an absolute fact that people continue to die in massive numbers throughout the world and certainly in our country. And we want to do everything that we can to protect the citizens of this country.
So how would you reassure voters that you will fight for what they want?
Well, you know, I was asked that question very early in the first time that I ran. And being a clinical social worker, I am on call basically 24/7. And so I'm used to answering those phone calls that occur in the middle of the night when someone has a crisis and they need some help. And so that's nothing new to me. And one of the things that I've found is that there are many people in the district that sort of consider that I'm already in office, and they call me for all of the problems that they need to have solved. And I work with them to try to do that. So, you know, it's one of those kinds of issues that when you really look at it, you know, it's so important just to be present to people and to really do those things that are required willingly, and, you know, not substitute other people to do the work of the representative. So I want to be very hands-on with that. I traveled the entire district and met with people in every nook and cranny of the 8th district. I know it well. I'm a 6th generation. It's only doing what's right for the people in the district. So I'm anxious to have the opportunity to do that.
Why run for office?
Well, you know, I have never been someone that's been involved in politics until 2016. And I did not like the direction that our country was going, and I knew that I needed to do something. And so I was working full time at that point in time, and I decided that, you know, my clients needed my full attention. And so I ended up going to the Women's March in Washington, and I decided I need to do something for my district. I can't just let it die a very slow death. I have deep roots in this district. I have family in this district. And so when I ran, I felt that that was the way that I could provide the most service to our district. And I really have appreciated the opportunity to meet all of the wonderful people. And you know, I think that right now we have so many people that are on opposite sides. And I want to work toward bringing people together. You know, I've worked with so many couples in counseling over the years I've been in practice. And I know that we need to, when people come in, they each want what they want. The reality of it is we're not going to get everything we want, but we can get something of we want. But we've got to find that sweet spot in the middle so that we can begin to talk, begin to share what our values are, what we need, and how we can expand on that, and to make that a new way of living in our district right now.